What is up, guys? It's your boy Andy Matrix. So I have some pretty cool news. Okay, I have some pretty cool news for you guys. So it's kind of difficult, right? It's kind of difficult to live in Japan. You know, the Japanese government, they don't make it easy for people to live in Japan. You know, because they know it's a nice country and they have a very low crime rate, and they don't want just anybody just pouring into the country and staying there, forever and ever and ever, right? So they don't make it easy. Now, traditionally, there's been a couple of ways to live in Japan. Certain ways that that people are able to stay there for at least up to a year, right? And one of the easiest ways to live in Japan is obviously a student visa. So if you're in college and you want to study in Japan, you can do so with a student visa. You sign up and get your butt over to Tokyo or Osaka, wherever. The second popular way of working in Japan is a worker visa. So if for people that want to teach English in Japan, that's a very easy way. But that's just to teach English, that you have to work to stay there, right? And not just to teach English, but obviously other types of jobs. And then the third option, right? The third option to live in Japan is you have to marry a Japanese woman. You have to marry a Japanese woman or Japanese person. And I mean, let's face it, not everybody has access to that, because you kind of have to go to Japan and stay there for a pretty long time in order to find a wife. Not everybody is lucky enough to meet a Japanese person in their country. Unless you live in California, right, where there's like a lot of Japanese people, or in Hawaii. There's a high population of Japanese in Hawaii. And now the fourth way, right? The fourth way of living in Japan. This is if you got the moolah, if you got the moolah, if you got the money, if you got the finances to do this, an entrepreneur visa, which our boy PewDiePie has done. If you guys ever wonder how PewDiePie was able to move to Japan, is with a entrepreneur visa, because he's basically a business owner with his YouTube channel. He can claim his YouTube channel as a business, and he has millions upon millions of dollars, right? It's very easy for him to do that. Now, I'm assuming most of us do not have that luxury. Right? Most of us do not have, millions of dollars in our bank accounts. We can, or at least, most of us are not business owners, right? Unless you're a freelancer. If you're a freelancer, then I guess you can get an entrepreneur visa, although I'm not sure what the requirements is for that. Anyways, so Japan is working on a digital nomad visa. In case you don't know what a digital nomad is basically pretty much what's happening now, where either you work for an American company or a company in your home country. Like, let's say you work, I don't know, for Google, but then Google allows you to work from home. And so you take your laptop to, let's say, I don't know, Thailand or Japan or somewhere in Asia or in South America, and then you can continue to work from your computer. And then just have Zoom calls as meetups. Okay? That's how it works. That's a digital nomad, a person that's able to work, despite of a person that's able to work, whether if it's for a company or self-employed, whatever. That's a digital nomad. So there's been about like 50 countries, I believe it's 50 countries that have a digital nomad program, and Japan is one of the few that don't have it. So finally, they're working on one. So let me go ahead and read you the details. And this is coming from the Japan Times, of course, the Japan Times. So the article is titled, Japan's Digital Nomad Visas to require 10 million yen in income. Please do not confuse that with dollars, okay? So 10 million yen is actually about $67,000 per year. So this is actually doable. If you're like a software programmer, this income level is actually very, very achievable. Right? It's very, very achievable to make $67,000 a year, depending on what type of job you have, right? And if you have a business, if you're like a freelancer or a YouTuber and you're making that kind of money, 67,000 is really not that high. The average American makes about $30,000. So if you can find a way to double your income, you can get yourself a digital nomad visa to go to Japan. Now, what does it say? It says Japan plans to begin issuing 6-month visas for digital nomads with an annual income of 10 million yen, which is about so $68,300 or more. The Immigration Service Agency announced Friday the program is expected to start by the end of March. So they are literally launching this in 2024 March. So as of the time of this video, we're actually not too far from that. It then goes on to say digital nomads, which refer to people who work remotely while only staying in one place for the short term or midterm, from 49 countries and territories, will be able to stay in Japan under the specified activities visa category. Self-employed applicants are eligible as well, right? And that's as far as it goes. So yeah, so there you have it, folks. There you have it. So this channel is about anime, manga, video games, and Japanese culture. I always bring you as much information as I can to travel to Japan, basically cheap flights, finding cheap flights, places to visit, right? Places to visit, as well as, how to live in Japan, how to stay there. Because I've really only gone once, and I've stayed there for 2 weeks. I went to Tokyo, I went to Osaka, I went to Kyoto, and I had a great time. It was absolutely amazing. Right, but I wanted to live there. Like when I went to Japan, I didn't want to come back. I swear to God, if there was an easy way to do it, I would. But out of the 4 ways that I've mentioned, out of the 4 types of ways to live in Japan I've mentioned, whether if it's student visa, work visa, getting married to a Japanese person, or entrepreneur visa, it's not that easy. It's really not that easy, right? But if you are a person, like if you didn't go to college or if you went to a trade school, you're probably, it's hard to get a work visa because Japan, they want somebody that has a bachelor's degree. So this has made it easier to go to Japan and live there and stay there for a pretty long time. And although it is only 6 months, that's half a year, I'm pretty sure you can renew it pretty easily, right? So we know a little bit more about the requirements. I'm gonna keep up with this, right? I'm gonna keep up with this news. I'm gonna stay in, I'm gonna keep doing research and wait to see what happens in March and what are the actual requirements, like if you have to pay some type of fee to get it, or what are the documents that you need. So stay tuned. Your boy Andy's got you. I'm gonna keep, looking into this and trying to find out exactly what we are supposed to do to go to the land of animes. All right, everybody. So that's gonna be it for this video. So make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay tuned when I release information about this, because I'm gonna keep up with this information. I'm gonna do more research in the coming months, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for future notifications. It's your boy Andy Matrix. Godspeed, baby.